Hey guys, I thought I would show you guys some ninja
Search and
diffusing
destroy.
spots on Black Ops 1. Holy shit, this is loud.
Defend the objective.
Thought I would show you guys some ninja diffusing spots on Search and Destroy. We're going to start off with a raid. We're going to probably do a series on every single map. I will show you guys just what this looks like. From the enemy perspective, whenever you are coming up to plant the bomb. First spot is at the B bomb. We're not going to do them in any particular order, just whatever bomb is closest, which I think on most maps is usually B. This is what it looks like whenever you are laying in the bush from the enemy perspective. Obviously, if you take the camera static and things like that off, you can see I am pretty much invisible. I don't have anyone right now who is on to help me film this and send me their clips, but I wouldn't be able to save their clips anyways, because I don't have like the greatest editing because I'm limited to PlayStation only. But as you can see, you pretty much can't really see anything, even if you get close. I mean, really, even if I lay here with my gun, obviously you can see my suppressor sticking out. If I switch to my pistol, you can still kind of see it. If I hold my tomahawk, you can't really see it, but sometimes you'll get noticed because your elbow sticks up. That's why I stick to just holding the decoy, because it just tucks your arm in right here. And as you can see, even like when the camera's that close, you really can't see me at all. I literally could play so many clips of people just walking right past me, basically, in that spot. Like, I've had countless clips. I don't really remember the last time I died in that spot, other than being there in a previous round and trying to use the spot again. Now, there are a few spots you can do at a... I gotta refresh my memory here, it's been a while. One spot I used to use was here as a kid, but... I mean, there's a somewhat downside. I mean, obviously I can't hold anything right now. If you lay here, there's a good chance you don't get seen. There's a pretty solid chance, I would say. Obviously, yeah, I don't have any more decoys, so just imagine that I'm using it, like that I'm holding a decoy instead of a tomahawk. You could see, like, from this area, especially, like, let's say, because they're spawning over on this side, so they're going to be attacking. Some people might, come over here and aim, but whenever they walk, they're going to be so focused on looking at this and this window, looking over here behind the car, looking over here, looking up here. Honestly, if they're coming from this spawn, maybe late in the round, if they're rotating back to plant late round, they might even be looking up here or whatever. The last place they're going to look is right over there in that area. And even if they do, they might not notice you, to be fully honest. But that's a spot that I would use. Another spot I would use, I didn't really use this one as much. The main spot I would use as a kid was I would just go here and lay down, which obviously... obviously, you're not gonna be blended in or anything. If I had to give a tip, my honest tip would be lay more on this side, like towards the right, like right here against this bed, because the odds of them coming down here, I will say the odds of them seeing you are, if you're laying on the right, obviously they run down right here. They're going to be running in, and they're going to be, like, aiming in here. They'll probably you'll be center of their screen, and they'll probably notice you right away. So you could do this side right here. You could do that side. But a lot of the time, like, if they come from here, they'll probably see you as well. Maybe not, like, if you're just pretending you're running in, like, let's just say, oh, killed that dude. 20 seconds left on the clock, running to plant the bomb. You might run in, but I feel like you're not going to look over here or down. I feel like you're just going to run in like this. And you see that it doesn't really pop up that area on the screen. And if you're on this side, then they're especially not going to see you. But most of the time, and I'm someone who used to ninja defuse as a kid for hours upon hours every day on this game. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. It's like a roll of the dice, and it's statistically in your favor. People don't really come in this building before planting the bomb. You might see someone early round, I'm not going to lie, getting to this bomb. You're probably going to have to kill someone, or either that or just hope that no one sees you getting to your spot. You're probably going to have to do that. Getting to B, you can be in that spot about 7 to 8 seconds before anyone even comes up at the bomb. They might throw a flashbang. I've had countless times where they've come up. I'll actually show you what area I'm talking about. This isn't really going to be a cut edit style video. It's just going to be like a just talking to you kind of thing. But one more spot I will say is you could use this spot. It's not the worst of spots. And a common angle from where they would see you would be from here, because they are running and, you know, they're coming from here. They want to look up here, boom, boom, whatever. They want to come here, say if there's someone in there or whatever. Behind the car, they'll look up here in the windows before they look down here. You know, they might go like that and look here, and then maybe even look over here, make sure that it's clear, and then come over here and, you know, clear this area out. Most of the time, they'll lay on this side of the bomb, and they'll plant it. They won't really do it on this side. The main reason is because they're coming from this way. They're coming from here. They might go here behind the bomb because they're thinking, oh, you know, they spawned over there, so planting it here, they're probably not going to see me. And a lot of the time, they might even have a teammate up here in this window, so they're thinking, okay, I'm not going to get shot from here. I'm not going to get shot from behind because the game just started and they haven't made it over there yet. They'd have to go through my whole team to get there. A lot of the time that would happen, but as you can see, if I lay here, from that spot, you can pretty much see I'm pretty much invisible, if we're being honest. And granted, I will show you what it looks like maybe a bit closer. I mean, I don't really know if that's worth it. Let's just say that happens to be like a weird type of round where they come over here, they clear out your team at B, they come around trying to play aggressive and find you. Let's say they're coming over here. You know, a lot of the time they're going to run. They're going to look over here. You know, they'll be focused on this area or this area, whatever, this area over here. They're not going to really look at you. So if you're looking from, if you're looking from this, okay, yeah. If you're looking from this point of view, like, and that's if you're looking at this, who in their right mind, if we line this up, is going to be walking around like this, looking right here? Because number one, your gun blocks you even if you are looking there. But you're going to be looking over here, and you're going to be looking there. You're not going to see how well I blend in. You're not going to see this in the corner of your eye. Look at that. I literally fade into nothingness. Like, it's crazy. So that's another spot you can use. You know, and you can always improvise. I've even done weird spots that really theoretically shouldn't even work. Like, I've done literally, I remember as a kid very vividly, one spot that I got, I literally was just laying right here. And I was holding a tactical insertion at the time. I was literally just laying here because my whole thought process was, again, what I've explained. They're coming from here. They're coming from here, here. They're not really going to circle around this spot a lot. Granted, I will say, sometimes they'll spawn. They'll come up this way and go up this hill, which wraps around over here. And they'll come from up there, and it'll lead down to these stairs. But if they don't go down these stairs, they'll go around this way. And they'll actually come out right up here in this area, and they'll come down, they'll look over here, they might wrap around, whatever, go over to the spawn, try to catch you from behind. They're doing that right here. They're going to go here to the bomb. They're obviously probably going to see you. Even then, I don't fully know, man, because I've had some people not see shit. But, you know, that's just my thoughts on Array. Is there any spot? Oh, yeah, I used to use this spot a lot as a kid, too. I used to get here and get under this chair. I don't really fully understand what this looks like, actually, from here. I've never actually, like, noticed. But, let's try to... Can we place this on top of the bomb, actually? I don't think we can get on top of the bomb. Can we even get on the bomb? I don't even know this for sure. I don't think so. But let's just assume, like, maybe put it here to be, like, the height of a player. I would say that's roughly the height of a player. Almost, just an inch or two higher. You know, if you're laying here, you know, like, my prone's block, kind of got to lay in and crawl into it. You might notice, like, if you're coming up, are you going to notice that? If you're coming up this way, which obviously they're going to come this way because there's always going to be someone head glitching this with a sniper or an M16 or a G11, HK21, whatever fucking long-range gun, or they'll come from here. You know, they might get a little bit closer like this, tuck the wall with an SMG and try to come out and peek in here. They might notice you. I would always just recommend, if you're going for multiple in one game, just do this spot. Because, just do it. Just trust me. I don't really, like, dude, I'm telling you. I mean, I know I'm holding a tomahawk, but, dude, I cannot remember. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've died using this spot. And it's crazy to think about, considering that if you actually look at it from this angle, it looks like there's so much, like, shit there. But if you come over here and look from the side or the back, I mean, the back, I guess you could say it. Like, if you look from the back, maybe, I mean, that's still pretty hard to see, assuming that even if you're wrapping around this way, you're going to, first of all, you're going to be looking in this area, you're going to come around, you're going to look, like, I guess theoretically, like, they're going to run around. They should see you, and I'm going to be honest, they should. I literally had a guy come through this building one time, come over here and peek this and stand in front of me for like 3 or 4 seconds. I don't know if I ended up posting that video, but I was just messing around. I might have been live on Twitch, I think. If I can go find that clip, I'll add it in the video. But it's just, this is just such a good spot. And I would never recommend doing another spot other than this unless you want to get a little bit fancy with your ninja diffusing. You can get up on these barrels right here in prone. Granted, I actually have never seen what it looks like. But obviously it's not going to look crazy. It's got to work your way here. You're solely banking on the fact, you could even say crouch, but you're banking on the fact that no one comes from here, no one comes from here, right? That's 2 areas they can come from, here and here, versus 1 area where they don't see. So that's 2 spots that they will see you from, right? Because if you're over here, you're gonna see someone right there, right? And if you're coming from here, obviously we don't even need to explain, you're gonna see someone. But if you're coming from over here, you know, even if you check this area, you might not see them. Like, if you come around and boom and just do a little check like this right here, you're probably not going to see that person unless you go all the way over here and look. You know what I mean? But, yeah, those are some spots that you can use on Array. I'm trying to walk around and see, is there any other spots I used to use as a kid? I thought I tried this spot one time, and I was thinking this spot could be even better because they are blocked right here. Like, whenever they come around, like, they're gonna come around, they're never gonna turn and look right there, you know what I mean? And if they do, then they're fucking wall hacking, or they're just like whatever, right? But I don't know how this spot would look. Let's try both of these spots real quick. I'm actually kind of like trying to freestyle spots off the top of my head. This isn't the worst spot. How does it look coming from here though? You might not see me. I think I would be more comfortable facing this way because the black of my boots aren't showing. See how you can't really see me now? And if I turn around and lay down, you see how you see my shoes and stuff. You see what I'm saying? But I used to use this spot, which it's not a great spot. I won't lie. There's like nothing here, but I used to just use here and just lay down right here. And like I said, a lot of the time, sometimes you could even get real close up to it like this and just lay like this and just let them walk past you. But the only downside is you won't be able to see them. If you're the type that like wants to lay down in a spot, and if they look at you and it looks like they aim, you just pop up and kill them real quick. Like, if you're that type, that spot's not going to be good for you. But yeah, man, those are some good ninja spots. Let me come over to A real quick. I feel like I spent more time on B than I did A. Let's just see. Am I forgetting? Oh, yeah, I used to use one of these. Now that I'm looking at it, it's not a great spot because you have to get here. With the way that with the spot that they spawn, which is right over there behind that rock, versus you spawning all the way over here behind this, the odds of you getting here and laying down, granted this is a good spot, it's not a great spot in terms of blending in, but it is a good spot in terms of it is a low percentage of the, how would I say this? It is looked at a very low percentage of the time. Because, like I said, most of the time they plant the bomb, it's going to be coming from this way. They might look over here, you know what I mean? They might look over here and kill someone, but they're mainly going to be looking at this area, this, and up in the window right there. They're not going to be looking right here in this corner. So they're going to come here and plant. And the good thing about this spot is, let's say, here is the downside to this spot. The downside to this spot right here, if you're prone and you're planting right here, you can see them walk past you. You can see me walk past you from the corner of your eye. If you manage to get to this spot right here, I'll say 85% of the time, they're going to lay here and plant. You can just come up right behind them from this spot. But at that point, you might as well, you might as well just use this spot right here. And I'll show you guys this spot one more time real quick. This is a close-up of me, and look at that. That's a close angle. That would be them standing right here and looking right here. Imagine if they're holding a more common angle, and they're coming over this way, and they're looking over there from this far away. Look at the vast, vast, vast difference. As soon as I prone, you will not see me. Look, I literally disappear. You know what I mean? And I know that this isn't exactly the height of a player's head. I don't really know if there's a way I could show you from maybe more of the height of a player's head fully standing up. This is almost about as even as you can get with a player's head height. If you look right here, still, even then, like, you can see me, but that's because you're looking at me knowing that I'm showing you a hiding spot. If you're playing a game, you're not going to see me. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a few more things. I wonder what this looks like from high up. I might show you guys one more map. I ideally want to do them in alphabetical order, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, you can see me there, but at the same time, you're not gonna have someone that's that fucking tall seeing you from that high up. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, those are just some spots on Array that I like. I guess we'll switch to the next map, which I think is, what is it, Cracked or Crisis? Alphabetically speaking, it would be Cracked, I believe, would be the next map. Cracked and then Crisis, and then what? Is there a map that starts with a D? No, firing range. Okay. Cracked. I can show you some spots on every map, but I think for now I kind of want to, because there's not really... You know what? I'll show you in alphabetical order. We'll do 2 maps each game, or each video I do in the series. We'll do 2 maps. So next will be Crisis and Firing Range. So let's go ahead and get this class selected here. And I can already think of 2 spots at B and a spot at A. So here's another thing I want to test for the guys who are like really wanting to get into the science of this. Let's spawn. How long does it take you to get to each bomb? Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Depending on your spot, give 9 to 12 seconds. And now that we're at A, actually no, you know what? Let's go ahead and experiment with the other bomb. Let's say we spawn in the exact same spot, which was roughly right here, I believe. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, depending on your spot, once you get set up, about the same, maybe 1 or 2 seconds less. The time it takes them to get to these bombs are pretty significant. So I would say on this map, this is a fair map. In terms of blending in, it might not be the best map. Some spot you can use if you want to try and value safety, not dying as you get to your spot. You probably want to just run down here. Realistically, there's a few spots. You could go right here and lay down, which this isn't a blending in type of map. It's more of a positioning in the correct spot kind of map. You could lay here, and I won't hold my decoy. I'll just hold my tomahawk. You could lay here. You could do that. The spot that I would always use as a kid is I would just come right here, like here, and I would just prone right here. And reason being, obviously, you know, let's just say they come from this way and they're looking over here. Obviously, you know, you're probably going to get seen. I'll hold a decoy. There's a chance you don't get seen. Like I've said, I've seen some stupid people. Even in 2026, I've seen some dumb people. But 75 to 85% of the time, what they're going to do is they're either going to come from this way. A lot of times you won't see them come from this way because this is a multi-angle area. You know, people don't really think like me. Some people think with their brains. Some people don't. So they might just come out, but you can be shot from here, here. You can be shot from up there. Whenever you come out, you can be shot from over here, 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 behind that car. You can be shot from here. You can be shot from over here, whatever. Not early round. Early round, you can only really be probably random naded across this building, or you can be shot from here, or here, or here. Maybe even here, or, you know, over here, whatever, maybe. But early round, you don't have to worry about getting shot from over here. But, so that's a good spot. Another spot that I would use was actually up here. I would literally just run up here I would come in this room right here against this wall, and I would just prone right here. Reason being, because if someone is coming this way, first of all, when they see this for the first time, they're not going to be able to see you tucked in that corner. They're going to come over here. They're going to look over here on the stairs. They might even pop out and, you know, do one of these little like double takes, whatever. They're going to come over here. They're probably going to assume that this room is clear because look at how much of the room they see. And they might not even think this in their head. This is a bit more of a natural, like, just it's happening in their head without them realizing it. Like, they're not thinking it. It just is programmed. They're programmed to think that way. They're going to come in. They're going to see this whole area of the room. They're going to walk in. They're going to see this whole area of the room. No one is going to walk in a room like this. No one's going to walk in a room like that, because if you do that like this, you can be shot from over here. If you walk in this door and look right here, you can be shot from here. No one... tell me what looks more natural to you walking in a room. 1 or 2. You know what I mean? And even if they walk in like this, like with their camera here, you're going to be on their screen for a 1/10 of a second. You know what I mean? And still, their eyes are going to be looking out the window. They're going to be walking in, like, they're not going to see you. So that's a good spot you can use. I believe there was a spot in here that I used to use as well. Was it? What was that spot? Oh, yeah, no, right here. I would go right here in prone. I kind of stopped using this spot because what I notice a lot of the time is a lot of times people actually will come over here more often than you think as an enemy. I don't know why, but they'll come over here, and obviously if they walk in this door, you're fucking dead for sure. And if you lay here on this side, then obviously they're going to come in here. They're going to look, and they might see you, they might not. It depends. But yeah, those are some spots right here. I would say number 1 spot, go here. Number 2 spot, go up in this room over here. And the number 3 spot, maybe right here, would be a better spot because you are covered by this right here. So if someone is walking here and, you know, they're looking up the stairs like that before they walk, you know, they won't be able to see you. Or if they're coming this way and they're looking over here to try and plant the bomb, they're going to look over here. And then a lot of the time what they'll do is they'll come over, they'll check here, and then they'll check here. And as they're walking, they'll turn this way, which means you stay out of their sight the whole entire time. So that is what you can do with A on the cracked map. Now, this is one of my favorite bombs of all time to ninja defuse on, not really because you blend in, but just because of the spots themselves. This spot right here, it won't look the greatest, but I'm telling you right now, I have gotten so many ninja diffuses from this spot. I'm telling you right now. The reason being is because a lot of the time, they'll come from here. They'll come over here. They might check this. Not really. They don't really check this because as they come up, the first thing that comes to their vision that they perceive as a possible like location that they would be at is what they're going to look at. So a lot of the time they'll come up here. They're almost never going to look over here because sometimes you'll have someone go this way. You'll have someone coming over this way. And, you know, you'll have someone come over here. You'll have someone throw a flash or whatever. They'll see that their teammate's over here. So whenever they walk here, they're not going to look this way. They're going to be looking this way. Their teammate that goes over here 90% of the time is going to take this path. They're going to come up here. They're going to look, and go this way. Because they went that way, this guy's going to think, oh, that building's got to be clear. If not, then I'll hear my teammate kill someone or be killed, and then I'll do something about it. They're going to look here. They're going to look here. They're going to look up here. They're going to run. They might even look over here, but a lot of the time they'll have that other teammate over here that is just chilling, and they won't look over here. Like, who is going to walk here and do that? You know what I mean? No one does that. They're not going to do that. That is my favorite. This is one of my favorite spots in the game for ninja diffusing ever. Another spot, and I know this has worked. You guys can go on my YouTube shorts. I got a ninja diffuse from this spot. This is the only ninja diffuse on my channel right now. And it is from this spot right here. Literally right here. Laying down with a tactical insertion. I can't even prone, but right here. This is my spot. I don't know why this works. I don't know why, because if you look here, you would think, oh, I can definitely see someone laying there. But it's just this little bit right here that for some reason, when you're over here, like granted, if you're coming up this way and you happen, like, you'll just assume that that's like a dark, like it's rust on this little, you know, right here, or it's like just like, you know, because you'll see this, you'll think, oh, it's just a little thing or whatever. For whatever reason, when you lay here, people don't really kill you a lot. And I will say, I don't fully advise that spot. Another spot you could use, if you really want, this takes a bit longer to get to, you could go here. You can go right here and hide. You can go right here. That's not a bad spot either. I would recommend always just using this spot, unless your cover gets blown, obviously. You know, that's just another spot that I have tried using. It hasn't worked yet, but it's because no one's planted. The bomb, is right here. You can go right here. The only downside is, a lot of the time you'll see someone, they'll come from over this way. They'll come over here, they'll check the bomb, they'll check here, they'll come in here. But a lot of times they'll see this doorway first when they come in, like this. They'll see the doorway, and it's bright, and it's open, it catches their attention. A lot of the time they won't be aiming down sight, so whenever they actually walk in, their gun will be blocking that corner, as you can see. And that means if you really want, you can just boom. And if you do that, not only is there a chance that they drop the bomb, if they drop the bomb, you can easily just boom, right? And then you can just come over here, and you can quickly just make a run, and you can be here in 4 seconds for this spot. Which might not be the greatest, because if their teammate's coming from over here, they're going to be like, oh, my teammate died. Boom, pick up the bomb, maybe come over here, check a little bit of things. They could see you, because their route to the bomb from picking it up here is either going to be turned back around and run here, in which case this is where they can see you. But if they're planting the bomb, they might not be looking there. You never know. Or they'll grab it, they'll jump out the window, and they'll come this way, like this, in which case you would be right on their screen. So that's a bit of a, that's a bit of a risky spot. It's not a bad spot. You know, those are the spots that I tend to use on this map. And I think what I'm going to do is, I kind of want to show you guys the Crisis, but I'm going to go ahead and do that in the next episode. I'm going to go ahead and record like 7 of these episodes, because I love talking about ninja diffusing, if you can't tell. It was just my whole childhood. So we're going to go ahead and dive into Crisis and firing range in the next episode. If you guys want to watch that, make sure you tune in, because I've got some really good knowledge about this game. I'm telling you guys right now, you can learn a lot. So feel free to tune into the next episode where we cover Crisis and firing range. Because I'll tell you right now, I've got some good fucking spots. So, yeah. See you guys. Peace out. See you in the next one, hopefully.